Well, hello everybody. I think finally we may have gotten some of this situation resolved as far as video production and so forth. Tonight, I want to discuss a couple of interesting things that have come up. Um, Now, the first thing that came up, if I can find a slide here, we go down. Um, okay, that's not in here yet. Let me put it in. Um, there was a YouTube account that was opened uh, quite briefly, and a single video was put up. This one. Uh, now, uh, the video was around for a little while, but then um, I went over and I commented on it, and basically it's attacking Levi and I using Twitter posts that I made back in 2013, 2014, when a person by the name of Radio News was playing us against each other. She impersonated someone that uh, Kempakazian knew quite well, and she and made up a fake Mert Protector account. And this was part of the antics by uh, radio that the individual by the name of Jilted Lark failed to mention in this single video that was on this account that mysteriously went private. You no longer can view the video unless you're a special friend of this individual. And so, you know, you have um, yet another troll. It was a sock account, and it just came and went. Um, and I have a feeling it's an individual from Minnesota who I blocked from my telephone messenger. I can't say for sure because the coward behind this video didn't identify themselves. But the nature of how this individual communicates and so forth would indicate to me that this is probably the individual in question. And so, you have um, this kind of nonsense come up. Okay, I'm going to tonight, and I think I have, well, where'd I go? Okay. I think what happens is with this video, whoop, when the video is on, it obscures the screen, so I'm going to remove it. And okay, I see what the problem is. Okay, there I am. I got my webcam working. And so let me do this. I'm going to put, okay, because what I want to do is I want to share something on our next subject here now that we got this poor little scaredy cat out of the way. Um, okay, now what I'm going to do is we're going to talk about this guy. And of course, the um, software isn't working, but that's okay. I'll just take me out of Okay, I think I solved the problem. You should have audio now. Ugh, I hate this stupid program. Yep. It's the same problem I make all the time. Uh, there's a command that I have to hit on the control board, and I didn't hit it, and it knocked me off the air. So now that I managed to screw up this live stream yet again, let's continue. Now, as I was saying, I'm going to start this from the beginning. This guy is the one who murdered his children in Mexico. The description of what he did is rather gruesome, but the interesting thing about this guy is that he's not some unemployed pizza delivery driver running around in a car full of junk. He's the owner of a business. He owns a surf shop, and it's a business that's been in the area for quite some time. And as I showed previously, and this is for the benefit of those who just showed up, he has quite a resume. He is a college graduate and has a degree from Point Loma University, master's from UC University of California, Santa Barbara, 4 years experience teaching high school, 10 years experience directing youth-based nonprofit. 25 years of surfing experience, 15 years of coaching experience, 4 years competing in the NSSA collegiate level, which is a more or less a professional surfing, CPR certified with lifeguard experience. So it kind of is okay. What's going on? I think I'm not getting my little thingy here. What is going on with this microphone tonight? No, I should be fine. Yeah, this guy basically believed in a cult. Now I'm going to try and do this. Because I had this. Okay. And let me get rid of the resume. Now, this is the affidavit from the FBI, and I'm going to have to be careful here because the details of this affidavit is quite bad. Levi had basically the same information, and he didn't get into the gruesome part of this. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try and minimize any of the bad stuff in here. But it reads as follows. This affidavit is made in support of criminal complaint against Matthew Taylor Coleman, M. Coleman, for a violation of 18 USC 119, 111, foreign murder of United States nationals, the subject offense. The facts set forth in this affidavit are based upon my personal observations, my training experience, and information obtained from various law enforcement personnel, including the Santa Barbara Police Department, SBPD, and the Secretaria de Seguridad Pública Municipal de Rosarito, SSPM, and witnesses. This affidavit is intended to show merely that there is sufficient probable cause for the requested criminal complaint and warrants and does not purport to set forth my knowledge of the investigation into this matter. Well, I don't know, it's at least I'm getting 16 people watching this thing. Please like, if you would please. The 2 dislikes, it's the same people that come in all the time. So, what are you going to do? Unless specifically indicated otherwise, all conversations and statements described in this affidavit are related in substance, in part, and only, and all dates and times are approximate. Part 3, Summary of Probable Cause. On August 7th, 2021, M. Coleman took his 2 children, RC, 10 months old, and KC, 2 years old, from the home he shared with his wife and mother of his children, AC, in Santa Barbara, California, to Rosarita, Bahia, California, Mexico. While in Rosarito, M. Coleman murdered his children by shooting a spear fishing gun into their chest. On August 9th, 2021, during a Mirandized interview, M. Coleman confessed to the murders. On August 9th, 2021, Santa Barbara PD Sergeant Brian Larson contacted me regarding a possible parental kidnapping. Sergeant Larson provided me with a copy of a missing person police report that was taken by SBPD. I reviewed the police report and learned the following. Hi, Lee. On August 7th, 2021, SPPD Officer Baranga spoke to AC via telephone regarding her husband, M. Coleman. AC reported to SPPD that her husband, Mr. Coleman, and their 2 children, RC and KC, planned to go on a camping trip. Instead, AC said that M. Coleman left the residence in the family's Mercedes Sprinter van with RC. Now, this is a pretty expensive vehicle, so these people were well off. And AC reported that M. Coleman did not tell her where he was going and was not answering her text messages. In addition, AC was concerned because M. Coleman did not have a car seat. AC asked the officer to contact M. Coleman by telephone. AC further stated she did not believe M. Coleman would harm her children, nor did she believe her children were in any danger. AC told the officer that she was not in any danger and believed M. Coleman would eventually return to their residence. The officer attempted to contact M. Coleman via telephone, but received no response. The officer offered to meet AC in person. AC declined and requested no further assistance. On August 8, 2021, AC called SBPD to follow up on the previous day's report. At approximately 6:59 p.m. California time, SBPD Officer Michael Chung responded to AC's residence in Santa Barbara and met with AC. AC reiterated that on August 7th, 2021, her husband, M. Coleman, left the residence with their 2 children in the Mercedes Sprinter van. As requested, ASPD's assistance in reporting M. Coleman and their 2 children missing. AC reported that she did not have problems with M. Coleman, and they did not have any sort of argument prior to him leaving. Family members reported that they were unable to telephonically reach M. Coleman. Officer Chung asked AC whether she could attempt to use the Find My iPhone application to locate M. Coleman's post. phone. AC agreed, turned on her laptop, which showed that M. Coleman's last known location was at Pabellon Rosatorio in Baja California at approximately 2:24 p.m. According to an open source query, Pablon Rosito is an open air shopping center with an address of Cal Reforma 300 Parcelas 22710, Rosario, BC. Performa. And I'm not going to go on with the rest of that. I'm not good at Spanish. On August 9th, 2021, Sergeant Larson provided me with a photograph of M. Coleman with his children, Casey and RC. Coleman was returning from Mexico. On August 9th, 2021, Sergeant Losser sent me a screenshot showing where M. Coleman's cellular phone was located using the Find My iPhone app. I saw that it was in Mexico near the San Ysidro port of entry. I contacted the FBI in San Diego, California, and requested their assistance in conducting an interview with M. Coleman upon his entry in the United States to determine the welfare of his children. At approximately 1 p.m., Mr. Coleman arrived at the SYOPE in the Mercedes Sprinter van. Mr. Coleman was referred to secondary inspection. There were no other occupants in the Sprinter vans. Federal agents took custody of the Mercedes Sprinter van. During an initial inspection of the Mercedes van, I was informed that Customs and Border Protection officers observed what appeared to be blood on the van's registration paperwork. RC and KC's bodies were found. FBI Supervisory Special Agent Joyce Dennis told me that when she learned that M. Coleman was not accompanied by his children, she contacted her Mexican liaison partners from SSPM, informing them of 2 missing children. After she provided the SSPM Rosarito with the ages of the children, an SSPM Rosarito officer informed him that the SSPM Rosarito located 2 deceased children matching RC and Casey's description. At approximately 8 a.m. that morning, August 9th, 2021, in a ditch, I referred the photographs of the 2 deceased children and observed large puncture wounds in their chest cavities. The photos of the 2 children provided by Mexican authorities appeared to be the same children depicted in a photograph of the children with M. Coleman as previously provided. Swigging my milk. M. Coleman was taken into an interview room at the PSYOP. FBI SA Nathaniel Dingle provided M. Coleman with his Miranda rights. Mr. Coleman waived his rights and agreed to speak with the agents. The interview was recorded. At the conclusion of the interview, I met with S.A. Dingle, that means a special agent, by the way, who told me the following. M. Coleman confessed to killing his children, RC and Casey. Coleman said that he drove his children to Mexico on Saturday, August 7th, because he did not have a car seat. He placed his younger child, RC, in a box and departed without a seat. Coleman stated that he believed his children were going to grow into monsters, so he had to kill them. At approximately 5 o'clock a.m., Coleman drove south on Descenso Road. He pulled up to the side of the road in an area of Rancho del Sayo. Coleman stated first he killed RC using a spear fishing gun, piercing RC in the heart. Coleman stated that he did not die right away. Coleman described that he had to move the spear around, thereby cutting his hand in the process. I later observed marks on M. Coleman's hand consistent with the statement. Photographs showing those marks were taken. After he killed his children, Coleman said that he moved their bodies approximately 30 yards away and placed them in some brush. Coleman provided agents with the approximate location of the bodies, which coincided with where the bodies were located by Mexican authorities. Coleman stated that he drove a couple miles where he discarded the spear, fishing gun, and bloody clothes near a creek. He threw bloody clothes into a blue trash bin somewhere off the side of a road in Tijuana, Mexico. Coleman explained he was enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories and was receiving visions and signs revealing that his wife, AC, possessed certain serpent DNA and passed it onto his children. M. Coleman said he was saving the world from monsters. M. Coleman identified photographs depicting RC and Casey's bodies as recovered by Mexican authorities as his children. Coleman marked each photograph with his initials. M. Coleman was asked whether he knew what he did was wrong. Mr. Coleman stated that he knew it was wrong, but it was the only course of action he could take to save the world. At approximately 2 o'clock a.m. on August 10th, 2021, I transferred M. Coleman from PSYOP to the Santa Ana jail. While booking him into custody, the jailer asked M. Coleman why he had a Band-Aid on his hand, and he said it was from hurting his children. Now, this is not the only case. And when I get done reading this affidavit, which is quite long, I'm going to get into the other case. On August 10th, 2021, FBI personnel informed me that Mexican officials had recovered the murder weapon, bloody clothes, and a baby's blanket. I reviewed the photographs of these items. When detained at PSYOP, Coleman was in possession of his United States passport, which identified M. Coleman as a United States citizen. I have reviewed the records from Customs and Border Protection and identified a United States passport for AC under her maiden name. I believe she is a United States citizen. I'm also in possession of a copy of Casey's birth certificate, as well as verification of pregnancy and live birth, listing their home address as Santa Barbara, California, signifying a home birth, regarding RC, signed by the birthing nurse. Given these documents and that the Coleman are United States citizen, reside in Santa Barbara, California, coupled with Casey and RC's young ages, 2 years old and 10 months old, I believe there is probable cause to believe that KC and RCs were United States nationals. I am informed by the United States Attorney's Office that the Attorney General, in consultation with the Secretary of State, must approve prosecution involving the subject offense. On August 11th, 2021, I was informed that the Attorney General of the United States, by and through his delegation of authority to the Assistant Attorney General for the criminal investigation of the Department of Justice, provided approval for this complaint. For all reasons above, there is probable cause to believe that M. Coleman committed a violation, and so on and so forth. So that is the full accusation made by the FBI. So, now I'm going to find, I hope, the second case. And this one, let's see, give me a chance to set this up. This one is the UK murder. Now, I'm not sure why. There we go. Let me try to adjust this. Okay. Getting a bit of a advertising there. Okay. I think I fixed this. All right. Here we go. Well, I'm not clear. Let me go through this. Now, I'm not too clear on what the situation is with the death penalty in California in regards to this. But he is back in the United States. So, the question of extradition is now moot. They brought him back almost immediately. And since it was a United States citizen killing United States citizens, I think that the Mexico realized that it's our deal and not theirs. This is a murder of United States citizens, and I think it's also in part the new government in Mexico. Now we move on to this guy. Now this guy saved himself the problem of going through trial because he killed himself. But it says here, man suspected of killing 5 people before turning the gun on himself in a mass shooting in England Thursday night was an incel Trump supporter who posted about devil worshippers in government. And this is the usual nonsense that we get into. Now, Davidson killed his mother, a 3-year-old child, the girl's father, and 2 bystanders. So we're sitting in Britain since 2010. Now, Davidson's mother had approved of his views, and the two clashed frequently, or is that disapproved? Excuse me, that was my error. And then this, it actually linked to another article. But, this is 2 QAnon based murders. And so this is adding up. Now, we've got a woman who killed Chris Hallett in Florida because he betrayed her. We have a woman on trial in Denver, Colorado because of QAnon. And guess what? The PPTF, Randy Erickson, Tim Homseth, And all those people over there in Qville have not said a single word about any of these cases. Not one word. They have completely ignored these cases. Here we have children, and both these cases were killed. The man's own children, he killed them. Children killed in the United Kingdom, all because of this QAnon madness. And not a word out of any of these people. Now, that should be telling. Of course, now that I broadcast it, I'm sure they'll come out with something. But up to this minute, right now, there is not one single word about these murders. And there's probably going to be some excuse come up by these QAnons to explain why these people were killed. You know, this is always the case. Anytime you read about somebody getting killed by QAnon, there's always some excuse. You know, the guy in the van, we don't hear much about that. But, you know, rest assured, you know, the news is out there. You can, you know, check. Yeah, I got to deal with a. But, and then this clown who made the thing over on Twitter or on YouTube, he puts his account into private when I confront him. And this is the thing. You know, they ignore the net result of this Q conspiracy. This pig farmer from Korea and Japan who started this nonsense and are getting people killed as a result. There's something that needs to be done about this guy. He's dangerous. He's getting people killed. You know, he needs to be held into account. And I just checked one of the task force's accounts, and there is no mention of this case. Not one word. So the PPTF and the High Command do not care about children being murdered. They absolutely, positively do not care. And they can sit there and deny all they want, but their actions speak for them. Tennessee Lights, I don't know. I doubt that they're involved. What the possibility is, however, is since this is QAnon related, and we're talking about snake people, this guy may have tuned in to one of Tim Holmseth's channels or the High Command, because Tim Holmseth made a big deal about reptile people. Snakes are reptilian to some degree, but reptile people, fish people, all these different people. And they go and ignore this case. They ignore a lot of these cases. And yes, Martha, they're supposed to be saving children, but I think what they're doing is, by extension, they're actually killing children with this constant talk about satanic ritual abuse and all this other crap. So, you know, it's another one of these situations where they say one thing and do another. They're not saving children. They're pretending to save children in order to get money. All these sightseeing trips they're making to southwest of the United States, if they even went down there, is basically just photo ops. They go out in the middle of nowhere, they take a picture, and they say, I'm doing all this stuff, and they ain't doing a darn thing. The latest video is Border Nightmare, FBI, CIA produced propaganda film controlled to cover up human harvesting. And yesterday they talked about Mike Lindahl going after Craig Sawyer again, and filthy justice, judges, closet rapists, and slimy pedophiles. Talking about something with, and we go all the way down, not one word about the California killings. And on August 10th, Tim Holmseth is taking a picture of himself in the middle of nowhere, doing his thing again. And that's it. August 9th, nothing. August 9th, again, nothing. Several videos made on August 9th, not one talked about the case. Neither case. This is live. Cheese. So, you get to the point of when are people going to realize that this PPTF and the crusade and all this other nonsense are a bunch of phonies? They're not doing anything except craving attention and it had one inappropriate photograph of somebody. Didn't say who it was, didn't give the origin of the picture, but it got put in private. The coward went and locked the account. So, Preacher Dan is always begging for money. They're all begging for money. Every damn one of them. That's all they live for is money. And I have a feeling that someone here is a troll. But, it's all one in every crowd. But, and we have the river denial. Kirk Prendergast came out with a statement, I believe it was in a conversation where he says that Field McConnell did not change his plea. And there's been posts published over on the high command about it. And she said hammer time, not sure what. Okay, got another question since this is general discussion. Has Daniel Lee paid his judgment that Craig Sawyer got against him? I seriously doubt it. It's a multi-million-dollar settlement, and Daniel Lee doesn't have 2 cents to his name. So I think that possibly Craig Sawyer might want to check out collection agencies and so forth to get his money out of this guy. It's one thing to sue somebody, it's another to get your money out of them. He can do it, but he's got to work for it. The aggregate judgment is only as good as your ability to collect it. Well, I had a feeling the video would show up on Gab, but the thing about Gab is they're not really interested in the video anyway, because they don't know who the hell Levi is. They don't know who I am. So they're going to look at that and they go, "What's this?" And he took it down. So because he knew that he was going to get in trouble if he left it up. Now, the information put out there in that video has been known by people for years. Who, what, when, where, and why. Yes, me, Levi, and Kim Bacasio got into a serious disagreement, but it was all because of a person by the name of Radio News. It was a troublemaker. It was removed probably by the guy that made it. And I have a feeling I know who made it, but I'm not going to name the guy. But they chose to remove it. And I think they got scared. I think they realized that they got in trouble because the picture of the individual in the underwear is considered revenge porn. It's a federal offense. And so they decided they better get it the hell off of there. And speaking of federal offenses, the High Command and Randy Erickson posted what they are claiming to be a documentary. And they chose in their both posts, to show pictures of the children. But the children were naked and they were shown being tortured. Now, true or not, why on earth would somebody put a picture of a naked child on Twitter and Facebook without any disclaimer saying that this is not appropriate for a child to be seeing on Twitter? Do you have any idea how many children are on Twitter and on Facebook? And they're running down through, and all of a sudden they come across this female child on her back, her legs spread wide open. It looked like her feet were tied up in the air, and she's laying there. I mean, who puts this stuff up there? And then they got another child hanging by their arms, naked, and it was at least blanked out in the part of where her genitals were. And, this kind of garbage. And it linked to this German so-called documentary, and I'm going to research the information and find out who these people are and why they are putting pictures of naked children on the open internet. The video in question that Randy put up came from a Facebook account. And so they, I don't know if they look for these people, if they get contacted by these people, or how on earth they found out this video even existed. But it's amazing that somebody would put something like that on the internet. Rebecca, I don't know. I mean, this woman does not think. They put pictures of naked children. I mean, not a stitch of clothing on this girl, and she was being tortured. And the fact that this was put up on Facebook, it may be in violation of federal law because it could be considered child pornography. And even though it is a quote unquote documentary, there may be laws regarding the depiction of naked children on a forum like Twitter without putting a disclaimer in there saying that these images are inappropriate to be viewed by children. And that's, I remember seeing National Geographics when I was a kid where people were walking around naked as a jaybird. But, you don't see that anymore because they clamp down on that sort of thing. And, the fact that this is a woman that is supposed to be fighting child pornography on top of everything else, why on earth is she putting this stuff on the internet? I don't know. Hi, Levi. Nice of you to join us. We were discussing our that Twitter account, as well as this case out of California and out of the United Kingdom, as well as the alleged pornographic imagery put up by Randy and the high command today. And well, I'm quite sure that adults don't want to see it either. I think it was put up there as shock value that Randy wanted to make people upset depicting these naked children, and possibly she would get people to start believing her, and that they would get the money rolling in to their accounts, because this is the only reason for doing that. Yeah. So, it's just it's another tragedy with these people, and insisting that they have to do this sort of thing. Yes, they can be reported because the video itself may be inappropriate, because even though she's got the pictures up there, and the pictures are not gone, by the way. It takes time to find the tweet, but it's there. But what it does is when you go through the video that links to, the naked children show up about halfway through the video. And that's what makes it a problem, because she put the video up on both of her accounts and did not put up a disclaimer, did not put an age block or any of that. The video is just there. And you can go to the video and you will see the naked children and more. So, I think Alex can help you with that. She has all the information on how to report that. But what the hell is a frazzle drip? But this is not the first time this has been done. Timothy Holmseth put up a picture of what he claimed was the body of John Benet Ramsey. And in certain states, this is against the law. It would be in Florida, because we passed the law after that race car driver was killed, that, you have to have the family's permission to put these pictures up. And I'm quite sure that the Ramseys did not give permission for those pictures to be displayed like that. And he's put up pictures of children, misrepresented the circumstances behind their appearance and so forth, like he did with the raccoon eyes, or whatever you want to call them. That turned out to be a completely false report. And speaking of Tim Holmseth, I had an interesting accusation that was made. Now, it was reported that Randy Erickson claimed to have visited the newspaper where Tim Holmseth used to work, and actually spoke to the editor of the paper. Well, somebody else wrote me and said, well, they had talked to the editor, and Tim Holmseth had been fired for plagiarism. Now, that's an accusation. Don't know if it's true or not, but considering what Tim Holmseth puts up on his various social media sites, it would be believable, because he did write an article in one of his blogs where he had a grievance with the newspaper, had something to do with wanting to get his fingerprints, and so on and so forth. There was one blog, I can't remember exactly where I saw it, where he was complaining about shenanigans going on in the office, and that may have been the reason he was fired, was because of all these conspiracy theories on top of the plagiarism accusation. Yeah, Charlie, that video is horrible. And it's someone that believes that satanic ritual abuse is going on and so forth. And yes, there is a lot of people that believe it. The satanic ritual abuse accusation's been around, and it's possible that these kind of things go on. But is it necessary to post pictures of naked children on a bulletin board, social media account, where children could stumble across that sort of thing? It just, people don't think when they do this stuff. And somebody has already made a blog about the fact that she has allegedly posted. It's on a Before It's News website that was published this afternoon. And what I'm doing is I'm in because 3 hours ago she posted an alternative tweet. And of course the following film is a German documentary regarding ritual abuse in France. Now, this came from a account run by Joel Hayes, and this was put up and what I'm trying to do is I'm going to let it play because I want to find out where this came from. See if there's a name of this company that did this documentary so we can try and figure out the origin of this film and how recent it is. A lot of times these people find this old stuff out there. When they find these films, they go back. But I'm just curious to see if I can figure out who it is that made this documentary. And what's funny about this is my editor of the station I'm affiliated with is in Germany. So I can go through my editor to see if he can track this stuff down. Right now it says N24 2250. So they've cropped this. So what they've done, I think, is they've taken out the source information and where these people are from. This is normally done when you're trying to hide the copyright of a station, is you crop it so that they can't backtrace it. Well, I've got the Facebook up, Alex, and I'm trying to find out who it is that made this documentary. And it's in, it's, I'm not saying it isn't true, but I'm trying to figure out how old this documentary is. The satanic ritual abuse thing has been around for decades. I remember this discussion coming up during my live streams back when I was on Pal Talk covering the Casey Anthony trial. And there was a woman in California that was very big on satanic ritual abuse. And so, it's not a question of whether what is in this video is true or not. It's a question of whether or not it's appropriate to be showing images of children on Twitter and Facebook without some kind of disclaimer to prevent children from seeing these pictures. If any one of us had posted pictures like I'm seeing right now, they would be all over us. $20,000 for what documentary? But so far, this video is full of children. I think they're talking about their abuse. But it's not showing. Oh, okay. $20,000 scam, $50,000 scam. Yep, there's big money in lying to people and exploiting situations like this. I'm going to have to write my editor, see if I can figure this out. But they are exploiting children in this manner in order to give themselves attention and, have them take credit for something that they're not. All they're doing is re-reporting what's already out there. They're not doing anything. They have not saved one single child. Tim Holmseth has not infiltrated the Finders group. None of this. These people continuously lie about this stuff, day in and day out. Let me see. Doing a little research here. Okay, the documentary. Yeah, this is a. Excuse me, folks. I just turned off all my power on my other. I gotta take that out of there. Well, yeah, and he's accused me, Levi, of being part of the finders, uh, which is kind of funny because in the book there's no mention of either the NX, whatever it is, or the finders. Not one single solitary word. So it's kind of interesting. So more than likely this is a genuine documentary because the TV station is on here. It's affiliated, strangely enough, with the station that I'm uh, working with. And it must be an older documentary because the TV station is no longer uh, Axel Springer. Let's see. December 9th, 2013, this TV station was sold. And so that means that uh, they changed the name of N24. So this documentary that they showed has to be at least that age, anywhere from 2013 and backwards. That's 11 years ago. So this is just another one of these cases where uh, someone has come across an old video and made it current. You know, because 2013, let's go back 2008, Tim Holtz was out there. You know, why didn't he find this in 2008? Why didn't this guy over on Facebook find it in 2008? You know, why is it over a decade later, this documentary suddenly pops up? You know, the people behind these ritual abuses have probably been caught and put in jail by now. Um, you know, so whatever this N24 used to be, um, it got absorbed into actually the same people that I'm working with. So I'm going to contact them see if they can help me track down this documentary. I find it really interesting and a kind of a coincidence that this popped up. But I've been working with German television outlets for quite a long time now, so this kind of interesting that this popped up. Oh boy. Let's see. Now you can go over to Twitter and do a um, search for the tweet in question. I'm not going to retweet it because it contains child pornography. Um, but you put her task force name in the search engine. Uh, and what you do is you do a search into the Twitter search icon and you put the time posted above that she made the comment and it'll come up. And the link, the Just Paces link, gives all that information. Um, so that they, if you choose, you can report that tweet. And anybody that has access to Facebook can go over there and report that account for posting those images. Um, you know, she's supposed to be an expert on this sort of thing. She should have known better than to put those images in a public place. The fact that she went ahead and posted these images, you know, has to have you question her judgment for doing such a thing. But it is what it is. She does things without thinking. She's done it in the past. And here we are. But it's real interesting that the original post vanished and this alternative post came up. Because it takes you just can't go to her Twitter account and find it. I'm not sure what she's done with it, but it's no longer visible unless you use the link that takes you there. But it's still a violation of Twitter terms of service for that post to be searchable. Because anybody, the way these kids are anymore on uh, being able to do things on the internet, they could come across that photograph of those naked children. So, oops, forgot I have to be over here to do that. But turkey. Oh, this is good, so I'll just do it. Sometimes the software is a little weird, but I'm getting the hang of it. I keep making the same darn mistake with getting me on the air, so I've got to work on that. Okay. Yeah. Well, you did a better job of finding it, Glow, than I did. I had a bass-backward way of finding it, but it's there. But it's just a seriously stupid thing to do. And I will be curious to see what Facebook and Twitter are going to do about it, if they do anything about it. Because these social media companies are very inconsistent with the way they do things. So, It'll be interesting to see what comes out of all this. Why they don't make this easy? Hi, Kim. Welcome to the show. Missed a lot of it tonight, but the show's recorded, so you'll be able to watch the beginning of it. Basically, I was talking about the California case, about the British case of these people going around killing people on the behalf of QAnon, and the allegation that Randy Erickson posted child pornography on her two websites tonight. And then immediately got rid of at least one of them. And I think she's cleaned up both of her accounts by now because she realizes she screwed up. Unfortunately, the links were provided to the appropriate people beforehand, so the posts have been reported to social media. So it's going to be up to social media decide what their answer is going to be, and I'll be rather curious as to what they decide. What the heck is going on with? I'm just going through. I wanted to see if anything has come up yet. Nothing's come up. Getting a lot of spam lately. Every time I go into that one account, I get spam, and I got to go through and clean it all out again. Sheesh. It's one thing you got to watch when you go to their BitChute channel is just, you're going to pick up a boatload of spam. So you got to, I would recommend doing a VPN or something to get around all that spam because it clogs up your database and then you got to clean it all out. Yeah, Kim, I wholeheartedly agree. It's disgusting. And the funny thing about that case is nowhere on the PPTF, the high command, Randy Erickson, Tim Holmseth, there is not one single word about that case. Not one. They are quiet as little mice. And I've been in this broadcast an hour and a half talking about it, and not a word. It's complete silence over there. Yeah, so it's just, you have to wonder. Uh, what the deal is. But she's got the documentary up there on her Facebook, but she took the okay. but she took the images of the children are gone. So. Oh, this is funny. Mert posted a traffic ticket. Really? When did Phil McConnell drive a car in the state of Florida? In order to get a traffic ticket, you have to be driving a car, and then you have to drive a car in Florida to get a traffic ticket. But, that's okay. You nut jobs can go ahead and believe what you want to believe. But I know for a fact that Phil McConnell is going to plead guilty to charges stemming from his association with Tim Homestead. And let me go over and see what my Twitter account says, since I've been told I have a direct over there. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. Okay. All right. I saw the direct message. So, but it's not a terribly smart thing that she should be doing. And this Field McConnell is innocent account gives you an idea of the lack of intelligence of these people. I mean, the document is in the state of Florida. You can go and look at it, and it explains that it is not a traffic ticket. It's a change of plea in Florida versus Field McConnell. Everybody, including Kirk Pendergrass, knows it's about the violation and what he is charged with. So, going around and saying some brainless thing about Field just shows how dumb you are. So, you're just another troll who has nothing better to do. Well, Lee, this is all these people can do. They come in here saying these absolutely idiotic things, and in less than a month, on September 8th, we're going to find out. It's just it's tragic, really, that people can be this dumb. Because I would love that person to go and find the traffic ticket that Field is supposed to have gotten, or the traffic ticket that, because I've pulled up the docket, and well, they're just, they're not even being serious. They just came in here to make a stupid statement, and that's all they're capable of. But this is the I got the docket up, and I got to do some adjusting here. But it says right here at the very top, got the case number, state reporting number. It's a felony, 3rd-degree felony. We move down, goes through, says who, Field McConnell, male, white, 6 feet. He's as tall as I am. Him and I are the same height, but he doesn't weigh as much. And right here, aggravated stalking, October 9th, 2019, day before my birthday. So this case started in October of 2019, and we are close to 2 years this has been going on. And come down here, the offense, stalking, aggravated, 3rd-degree felony, statute 784.048:3. And so we come to the court date notice that came up earlier. Okay. The date's been changed. It's the 13th of September, 2021. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So they've changed the date. And so I see where he got that from. I'm not sure why they put it up there like that. It's got traffic citation number, type, hearing, change of plea. But it's not a traffic ticket. So apparently somebody's too stupid to read. But yeah, that is funny. They got traffic citation number of all the stupid. But they had this for the 8th, but they moved it up now until the 13th. So that is exactly a month from now. And the phone just went off. But because they still got, see, what's funny is they still got Field McConnell's address in Florida. So that part's wrong. So they 13th of September, 1 month from now. Well, this is I've seen this before, Rebecca. It's a generic form because let me go in here and see if they've done this before on other forms. Court notice returned. Like they've got 8, 9, 20. This is the other hearing that I had. So this is a little bit different. But yeah, I've run into this before. Because see, this is the one I've been working with. That they had it at the 8th of September 2021, and what they've done is they've changed the date. So I want to go down. Yeah, see, they did it on the original court date that I was working with. They still got traffic citation written on there. But I don't know what's going on here, fireman, but this is not this is for the stalking. I don't know why they've got it as a traffic citation number, but it's a hearing and change of plea. It can't be a traffic citation because he's not in the state of Florida. He hadn't been driving a car. So, it's just one of these weird things that happens. But for some reason, on the 13th, they changed the date and brought it to September 13th. So they've basically delayed it. They moved it behind 5 dates or 5 days. So, that's weird. Yeah, driving his vessel into dry dock or whatever. I mean, Christ. Yeah, you're probably right, Glow. I don't know enough about why they would label it like that, but it's not a traffic ticket. Whoever this field is innocent is an idiot. He doesn't know how to interpret things. The fact of the matter is that Phil McConnell is going to plead guilty to charges, and we won't know those charges until this court case takes place. What I want to see, get out of the way. Well, that's going to be handy for me because it's been postponed until a Monday. It was going to be Wednesday, which would have been brutal on my schedule. So it's going to be on a Monday. That is the best news I could have. Task Force, you are violating a no contact order. You're not to be in here. I don't know why Task Force can't get it through her thick head. She is not allowed in here. I've told her in Twitter and everywhere else she's not allowed in here, but she comes in anyway with this notice to agent, notice to principal bullshit. Just go over and do a BitChute video, Task Force. You have never answered a single question I've asked of you. And so you post all this malarkey over there on these Twitter. It's too bad. I mean, this woman wastes her time on the internet, running around unvaccinated. And, I blocked her. She won't be in here anymore, fireman. I took care of that one. She'll have to come up with a different name, like I Love Field McConnell or something. You never know what these clowns are going to come up with. But, Task Force, why not go over on Twitter and explain why you have posted images of naked children in your Twitter account? Everybody would really like to know that. And, I've got Twitter up and running. Just tag me and let me know your answer. And I'm going to be right there, because I'd like to hear the answer to this one. Okay, Task Force wrote on her Twitter account, "Here, Mert, I hear you need this again. I got a message from a certain Minnesota someone that you need to link to this. So here to the finders." Yeah, I blocked her, Levi. She's not allowed. This is over on Twitter. Task Force insists that I have something to do with the finders. And this, of course, is not true. But she keeps this lie coming. And the problem for task force is that this ruins their lawsuit that they keep threatening. You know, I'm supposed to have 30 days to resolve this stupid lawsuit. And she keeps destroying her case by posting this crap. Let me go over. Okay, we're in the task force account. See where this is. Okay, she's posted it again. She sent me the link, and she's got a photograph of a naked child on a table. This is in violation of Facebook rules. And it's a violation of Twitter rules. So, again, this can be reported. Anybody that wants to go over to task force, the post was made 14 minutes ago. This is a violation of Twitter account. I got her. People have been complaining about me letting that account in here. She was told not to come in here, and she came in here anyway. But, you know, she's monitoring so she can hear it. But this is absolutely disgusting. Damn it, I hit that switch again. You know, this is clearly a young child. And you would think that someone who claims to be a grandmother would think to herself, what if her grandchildren came across that image of an obviously young child, probably before puberty, laid out on their back on a table with, I don't know what's going on with it, but on Twitter. No disclaimer, no saying that this is sensitive, shouldn't be viewed by children. None of that. She just puts it there. She doesn't think. The remote control air conditioner and the remote control. But, you know, she refuses to answer any question about the PPTF, how it was organized and all this. But, you know, seeing that, you know, I can't bring that image in here. My channel would be gone in an hour. They'd shut it down right in the middle of my broadcast if they saw that picture over on my channel. I can't even put the link over here because YouTube would shut me down. Now, Randy thinks that's okay, then she can go over to her high command account on YouTube and put it there. I would love to see her do that. I mean, she believes in this nonsense so much. Put those images up on YouTube, see what happens. Yeah, Jesus Christ, what is with people? Just when I think they can't get any worse, she comes up with this stunt. And it's really a shame that she has gone down this dark hole. You know, she has a right to talk about satanic abuse and whether or not it happens and stuff, but posting the image of a naked child being tortured, that is where you draw a line. You just shouldn't do that. And they say there's things, you know, you do something because you can do it, but you shouldn't do it. and this is something that she shouldn't be doing. Those pictures should not have been put up there. And I don't want to be in possession of the pictures. I don't want to be in possession of the link or any of that. Because the mere possession of that material is a legal quagmire. You just can't do that sort of thing. And even if you could do it, why do it? Why put up something like that and have it visible to children? Kids surfing the web, the way Twitter notifies people of content. All of a sudden you say, "Oh, I wonder what this is about. This is QAnon. I'm interested in QAnon." Next thing it sees a naked 10-year-old child laid out on a table. Good God Almighty. Yeah, it's just unbelievable. And it's disappointing that people are like this in the world. But there are people like this, and unfortunately, I managed to get tangled up with her. I'm not interested in these people. They brought me into this little hellhole. I'm minding my own business, playing Farmville on Facebook, and all of a sudden I get accused of being in some agent for a pedophile ring and all on, and this wannabe Clark Kent from somewhere up in North Dakota who got fired from a newspaper allegedly for plagiarism. Yeah, it's funny that Randy didn't mention that when she took her little visit up to the newspaper that Timmy was allegedly fired for plagiarism. She got kind of quiet about that little piece of information. I wonder why. You know, she could have come up with some excuse for that, but instead she just completely disregarded it. She's not going to let anybody know that Timmy was allegedly fired for plagiarism. And maybe that award that he won, remember, Timmy says he won this award. Maybe that award he won was for an article that he plagiarized. And when the newspaper found out about it, they fired him. That's a possibility that I hadn't thought of. Because I'm wondering, if that's the article that he won the award for, that the newspaper found out that he had committed plagiarism and fired him. Wouldn't that be interesting? Don't know, can't prove it, just can speculate it, but it's a question. It's a lot of things that Timmy's not explaining or answering. Nobody has ever mentioned the trespassing charge. Timothy Holmseth has a felony trespassing charge that he was convicted of. Nobody talks about it. Oh, I'm not having a tough night. He find it kind of funny. She's tweeting me saying, "Mert, I hear you are having a tough night." Task Force. She's tweeting to me over on. She tweeted to me on Twitter. Gotta love it. Maybe she can explain the plagiarism accusation that I've been told about. Of course, she'll deny it, but it seems to be coincidental. He wins an award for this article, and within a week of posting that article, he's no longer with the newspaper. Yeah, it's funny how people leave things out when they make these boasts. I mean, why is Timmy no longer with this newspaper where he won this big award? Yeah, he could do all his investigative reporting and still be at the newspaper making decent money. I mean, he may not get wealthy, but it pays more than being a pizza delivery driver. But no, he uh, he got his ass fired after he wins this big award. Kind of interesting. Yeah. That's a one party state. She could have recorded that conversation and not even had permission to do it. You know, one party state. You can record. You record all that stuff. And Skippy, what are you doing? Skippy's running around. He's underneath me. He likes to take a tour now and then. Yeah, I mean, like, Timmy is the official reporter for the PPTF. He moved up with a great team. How much is he getting paid for being on this imaginary task force? You've never, this is the thing. Randy makes these posts and she never backs it up with facts. She just says, oh, he's my official reporter and leaves it there. Doesn't explain the PPTF, doesn't show any paperwork because Randy doesn't seem to understand that if she is running an organization, be it civilian or military, she has to file with the IRS. And if it's a nonprofit or not for profit, all her records are public information. She has none of that. She comes out with this convoluted excuse about what the PPTF is, and that's it. But if she is paying Tim Holmseth anything, it has to be reported. Period. You know, this woman is supposed to be a real estate broker, supposed to be some kind of a judge, so she should know that if you have someone either on a 1099 or a W2, W4, or what have you, you have to report this to the IRS. What is it with this woman? And she makes these stupid tweets uh, saying that I'm having a tough night and that Timmy is the official reporter for the PPTF, yet there is no paperwork. Yeah. Okay, Glow, I got your message. I'm typing. I'm getting all kinds of public messages, private message. You mean? Well, insanity is an understatement. Yeah, and it's just weird that it's funny. She actually believes this crap. I mean, she's convinced herself that she is an all important liaison for the president of the United States, and she's nothing. Oh, of course it's going to catch up to him, Rebecca, because remember, when this thing goes to court, it's all going to come out. And I have a lot of information on exactly what's going to happen, but I have to keep it confidential. But they are not going to like what's going to happen. So Monday, September, we are going to be in Fort Lauderdale. Uh, Skippy. Sometimes I think Skippy's going blind with what he does. He is directly sharpest attack. No, I blocked her, but she's tweeting up a storm over on Twitter, and she's tagging me in her tweets. It's funny, funny as shit. Let's see. But yeah, I'm gonna bring this in the room. It's funny. Do-do, do-do. Funny as shit. But this is her tweets that she put over on Twitter, tagged me. So she can't, she can't accuse me of stalking because it's right there. And, what she sent me. So, she can't, it's funny. She just cannot do her own thing. She's got to come over to my account. And if that doesn't work, she goes on Twitter and posts this nonsense. So let's see what else we got. Yep, here we go. Nope. Cat, got your tongue on that question? What question? You didn't ask a question. I already told you I'm not having a tough night, task force. So, you're the one that's having a tough night because you can't get into my account. So, onto my chat. So you come over here on Twitter and post these weird posts that, but you didn't put it in the form of a question. You said, I hear you're having a tough night, and I don't see what's so tough about it. I'm having a good old time. Why are you posting, task force, pornographic images on your account? Why are you posting nude photos of children with no disclaimer? You do know that children the same age as that girl on that table can view that. Don't you have any idea how social media works that you're putting that kind of crap up on the internet for kids to see? Children. And even over on the Randy Erickson account, same thing. That video should not be viewable by children. And it can be viewable by children because there's no block up there saying that this is not viewable by children. I can't even share that one tweet of yours on my YouTube account because it would be taken down. That is child pornography. Where is your brain, task horse, to be putting that kind of garbage up there? You could have posted that link without putting images of children on your account. And you decided to put the images of children up there anyway. So answer that question. Why would you do such a thing? I bet you I won't get an answer to that one. But this is where we're at here. These people claim that they're for protecting children, and then she posts child pornography. They haven't saved a single child. They're still running around accusing me, Levi, and everybody else of being with the Finders and NextVim or whatever the hell you pronounce that. And they know it's not true. But they do it anyway. Well, somebody just DM'd me and they said, I can't believe she displayed those images, and I can't believe it either. But firemen report. He's, it is pornography. If anyone else had posted that, she would be running off and reporting him for what she just did. Because you just don't put child pornography on social media. Period. And she posts these pictures of children naked, being tortured, without saying that it's for adults only. Hi, Golden Mare. Glad you made it. Well, the show is recorded, so you can always watch it again. But what we're talking about right now is the owner of the PPTF posting what could be considered child pornography on Twitter and on Facebook. And she doesn't seem to understand that that's not the appropriate thing to be doing. She's completely ignoring that. We also had this guy in California that killed his kids, and she's ignoring that. And the guy in London that killed a bunch of people, including a child, ignoring that because it's QAnon related. And they haven't done anything for anybody. They've made matters worse. I mean, Neely Blanchard is in jail, never going to see the light of day. So she's not going to be able to, hello, Golden Mare. So she's not going to see her children ever unless they bother to come in for visitation or something. But, and then Cynthia Abzug, she's going to be having a hearing sometime after the first of the year. Well, I don't know where that one came from. Oh, okay, I see. But and then she comes up with a weird excuse for the PPTF and yet does not prove anything, and she is saying that Timothy Holmseth is her reporter, and he left a job which was probably paying $20,000 a year to be with a PPTF, which means he's being paid a salary. Now, she has claimed to have bought him a car, paid his expenses, all the stuff. This is considered income, and it is considered taxable. She is not related to Tim in any way. She's not his wife, at least not that we know of, or anything else. She's a woman that contracted with him. She said she bought out his assets, which means Tim owes taxes on however much he paid for his printing, his publications. And so there's a lot of hanky-panky going on here financially. And eventually the IRS is going to want to know what the hell is going on. But right now, the IRS, I guess, is too busy with other matters to do anything about them. And so these people are wandering around the country, taking pictures of buildings, pretending they're doing stuff, and living off donations off the internet. And quite a bit of it, for that matter. So, your guess is as good as mine where this is going. But I know in September, when court convenes and the truth comes out, a lot of people are not going to be happy. They're going to say, wait a minute, we thought you said that Field McConnell was not going to flip. Oh, I thought you said that was a traffic ticket. Oh, I thought you said the hammer was coming down. Well, the hammer's coming down right on Field McConnell's head, because Field McConnell is going to find himself in a miserable situation come September. These people that are armchair know-it-alls are going to be in for a rude awakening come that Monday morning in Fort Lauderdale. And I'm going to be sitting right there with my little notebook, writing it all down, because Brevard County takes forever to get their stuff out on the air, on the public database. So, and I don't know who that one publication is there that said they heard it first. I reported on Field McConnell's plea deal a long time before they published their article. So someone needs to tell those people I was the first person to know about it, period. Golden Mare, I think Field McConnell is feeling the heat because he has to sign off on this plea deal. His lawyer just can't go and say, oh, I make a deal, Your Honor, and Field McConnell's just going to have to take it. Field McConnell has to approve the plea deal. And the strict conditions that are in place for him to take the deal, and then the judge has to approve it. The judge could say it's too lenient and not accept the plea and say, well, you're getting off too late. You're going to have to go to court. You're going to have to go on trial. So Field McConnell has no choice. He either accepts the plea deal or turns it down. If he turns it down, we're going to trial. Simple as that. If he takes the plea, there's an aliquot. All the conditions of his plea deal will be made public, and he'll have to abide by those conditions. Well, he may not have a wife, but I'm beginning to speculate about a few things, which I won't make public, but I have a few ideas that something is going on up there based on actions of individuals recently. But come September 13th, it'll be over. And, people are going to look at all this and saying, well, all these people were wrong. They said that Field was going to get out of this, so that the hammer was going to come down, and blah, 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 blah. And no, Field McConnell has he's copped the plea, and he's going to have to accept, or else. Simple as that. Well, Christina, thanks for visiting. Thank you for praying for all of us. Whatever it is you're going to be doing, I wish you well. Well, Golden Mare, that seems to be where the realization lies. The lawyer determined that going to trial was not in Field's best interest. He talked to Field and says, this is what you need to do. Take the damn deal and be done with it. and he's taken the deal. Because if Phil McConnell had not signed off on this, they would not be scheduling a change of plea. They would be getting ready for trial. And, you can sit there and say, oh, it's a traffic ticket, it's this, that, or the other thing. But in truth, he has accepted a plea deal, and it's going to be final on the 13th unless this gets delayed again. I don't know why it was delayed to begin with, but these things happen. They probably, somebody had something come up and they said, well, it'd be better if I had this happen on, it's the same thing that happened with ABSUG. For some reason they couldn't get their ducks in a row by then, and they asked for a change. And it was, for whatever reason, it got changed to the first Monday, and, changed to Monday, which is good for me because then it doesn't screw up my week. Yes. Kim has to sign off on this. The lawyer could negotiate with the prosecution. They all say, okay, we got a deal. And Kim could say, nope. So Kim had to approve the plea deal. It's just no ifs, ands, or buts. Oh, this is nice. Got a brand new camera and the damn thing won't fit. There it goes. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting set up for when I go down to Fields. I bought a special camera. Yeah, what it is, Golden Mare, is, we're going through everything starting up after COVID, and they probably had somebody, either the prosecution, the defense, or the judge, said, look, we're going to have to change this. We're going to have to push it back a week or whatever. Maybe if Phil McConnell has to appear in court, they have to make arrangements to get him to Florida. So there's always that, because this is not a Zoom trial. They may have Phil come in on a remote connection, but this is a court appearance. People are going to be in court. Yeah, Golden Mare, you're right, but Kim also had stated that it is going to be on her terms. She will approve a plea deal as long as certain conditions are met. And knowing Kim, there's probably going to be some very strict attachments to this plea deal. And so it's going to be one of these things where Field has won but lost at the same time, because he's going to have to admit that he's guilty of what he did to Kim, and there are other things that he's going to have to do in light of this confession. And that's it. He's basically confessing that he is a stalker, and that he's going to have to live with that for the rest of his life. He's going to have to live with the fact that he pled guilty, that all the promises that he made all these years was for nothing. This started in October of 2019, and it's going to end with him saying, I was wrong, I am guilty, and so on and so forth. It's one of these things. I had thought that there would have been a possibility from day one that Phil McConnell would take a plea. Because as you get closer and closer and closer to that date, you start to realize that you're in the losing side of this. That you are going to lose, and you're going to lose big. And said, well, I'm going to take my shellacking, file a plea agreement, and that's going to end this. And so that's what happened. Well, I guarantee you, Golden Mare, when this comes out, as to what's been agreed to, people are going to realize that Kim Picasio is not someone you mess around with. That if she gets it in her head that she's going to kick ass, she's going to kick ass. And I think, you're going to see that Bill McConnell got his ass kicked and got kicked big. And yeah, you're right there, Levi. Yeah, he is definitely her bitch. Because, basically, when Kim makes a deal like this, she's gonna throw the book at him. And so I wouldn't want to be in Phil McConnell's shoes, come September. I don't think he's gonna have a happy experience. I wish we didn't have to wait that long, but things are busy down there. And so we're just gonna have to wait and see exactly what happens. I think somebody went quiet. And she thinks she saw the error of her ways with these posts and gave up. But that was a rather confusing thing she put up. She put up on Twitter 5 hours ago well, I'm going down there, Levi. So if you decide to come down, because even if Phil McConnell's not there, this is going to be interesting. Eloquies are always interesting. I've gone to a lot of these here in Orange County, and you learn more about a case from a plea deal than you would following it. Yeah, Field sank his ship, all right. Own ship. Okay, I'm going to check on that and see, but you may be right, Levi. Because usually if there's a waiver of appearance. Well, I had gone back and forth about whether or not to go down because this is going to be like the ABSUG thing I went to in a couple of weeks ago. And, the thing lasted an hour and they postponed it. Interesting. I feel that going down to this particular case, I'm going to be able to give the results of Field's trial much quicker because I can go outside, get on the air, and say, this is what happened, blah, 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 and that be the end of that. And sorry, Tater Tot sent you close down your YouTube account. I am not going to answer your question. If you had left your account up, maybe you would have gotten your question and answer, but since you took it down, tough shit. And you are blocked. This is Tater. The only reason he would have known about that is he would have had to see the contents of that YouTube channel, which means he's the one that created it. And since he has taken it down, there's no merit as to talking about it because it's private. So that means the information in the channel is private. So you killed your own horse on that one, and I will be right back. Well, if that's the case, if that's the case that he has to be in court, that's all the more reason for me to be in court. Because this will be the first time I personally seen Field McConnell, and I can report on his reaction and so forth when he's there. This might be the reason for the delay, is because now they realize that Field McConnell has to come to Florida. They have to make arrangements to get him down here. And so that's probably would explain the delay. They probably asked his son if he would be able to let him stay in his house and be monitored until the court date, if he has to come down a day or two early and then come to court for the hearing. And so, there's that. So, I get, it's funny what task force keeps saying over on Twitter, because the document came from the court. Yeah, that little tater tot. He was asking about, back then. And the thing of it is, the tater tot would only have known about that if he had been in the creator of the channel. Either that or he'd have to be one of the people that's allowed to see the material in that channel, that jilted whatever it was. So the fact that he had information that was in that video means that he is the one that created it. And he took the coward's way out and made the channel private, so I'm not going to answer questions about a private channel. So he sunk his own ship on that one. And even if he decides to come back, I'm not inclined. No, he put it in private. It doesn't open for me either. Right after I left him a comment, he locked the channel, made it private. So it's not going to open for anybody. So these people are making videos, and they're keeping it within their own little thing. It's kind of stupid, but these people are not known for their intelligence. So it's just more gamesmanship on the. Oh, of course we did. Mayor, Me, Kim, Levi, Alex Goddard, a few other people. We had a rockin' sock'em time on um, YouTube or on Twitter and elsewhere because we were being played. And we were being played by radio, we were being played by others, and we were all acting on misinformation about each other. And then once we came to the realization that we were all being played, we said, look, we'll agree to disagree on our various issues and go from there. And as time grew, we've all basically become friends with each other. And because we recognize that there are people on the internet that will come after you pretending to be your best friend, and they're not. They're your bitter enemy. And we've all got to watch it. And we agreed that if something is said about one of us, we'll talk to the others and work it out. And it's worked all that time, so they can't play us against each other anymore because we've been down that road. And so the history that if you go back and look at my Twitter account going back 10 years and come forward, you'll see the history there because I haven't taken any of it down. I could have easily gone in there and deleted all those tweets. But it's an archive and a history lesson that this is what happens when you allow people to play you and you don't do your research. And so we've all learned a very important lesson from that, and we're all better off because of it. So, that's just, it's one of those things, people change. We start out one way and we learn from our mistakes and we adapt. And we say, well, we learned that our arguments with each other was without merits. We misunderstood each other. We're going to be honest with each other and we're going to move on. And so that's what happened. Even in the worst disputes that I had with him, I always respected Levi's talent, as he's achieved quite a bit at quite a young age. And so we're better off for it. Well, Levi, I hope Derek Lassiter has learned his lesson and doesn't pull his shenanigans again, because he could find himself right back in jail if he's not careful. Now, I understand that he's got a business that he's trying to do. He's got a family to raise, so he just ought to go raise his family, enjoy his life, and stay the hell out of this nonsense, because it's too easy for him to get back into that nonsense again, and he's going to find himself in trouble. So fingers crossed, hopefully Derek has learned his lesson and that he moves on and stays out of this stuff. So we'll see what happens when he comes back online and see if he goes down the same rabbit hole. Because he's been warned. So if he's stupid enough to get into trouble again, then it's just too darn bad. He's a convicted felon, and it can hurt. He can get hurt bad the next time around, because you get into habitual offender status, and he won't get off lightly this time. He got 2 years in prison, and he could double or triple that the next time around. And he's got a young child to raise along with his wife and everything else, so he'd better behave himself. That's all I got to say about that one. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is close it down for tonight. I appreciate everybody coming in. It's been an interesting night. This task force has been really entertaining. But now I may go on the air tomorrow night briefly, because I'm going to be testing out a couple things. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do quite yet. I may not go on the air at all. I haven't, because tomorrow's going to be kind of an interesting day for me. But I got some equipment that I'm going to be using for Field McConnell's hearing, and I want to test it out and make sure that it's working properly. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. And I may make the live stream public. I don't know yet. It's at very least it'll be private, so I can check the equipment and check the software. So we'll see what happens with that. And so thank you, folks, for dropping in. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, share, and spread the word that we got another trial coming up, or hearing at least, come September. Then we have the Neely Blanchard trial coming up. And then we're going back to Denver, Colorado for the Cynthia Absa case. So it's going to be a busy year. I'm going to keep doing more research on this California's case and a little bit on the England case, and we'll be doing that. So until then, this is William K. Murtathon, Witness One, saying have a good one. Thanks for coming in, Levi. Thanks for everybody. Bye-bye.